We are in the segment of prepare vegetables and the use of knives. So I have here some lovely sweet peppers. I have as also known as bell peppers, capsicum also known as red, green, and orange. I also have a potato, and I also have onion and a garlic. In the preparation of these vegetables, I am going to be using the chef knife, the paring knife, the vegetable peeler. So the first item I'm going to prepare is the potato. So the potato, our lovely starchy, this is what we would call an English potato, just the regular English potatoes. You know, we have different categories of potatoes. This potato we are going to boil for a preparation which we will do in another segment that you will see on, in our series. To peel my potato, I have my garbage bowl because these peelings are going to be discarded, so I'm not keeping these. And I'm going to use my vegetable peeler. So how do we use a vegetable peeler? We have two types. We have this one, then we have the other one that has a T-top. It has two blades, and you hold it securely in your hand and you run it to remove your skin. Now, the question is, can I use something else to peel a potato? I most certainly can. The paring knife is made exactly for these type of purposes. They are used for peeling, for smaller jobs. So how do we use the paring knife? The same way as I use the vegetable peeler, and I always peel towards me for safety. I have control of my knife when I peel towards me versus peeling away from me. You always hold by the handle of the knife. This is the handle of the knife with your vegetable peeler securely. So we peel. And of course, we want to maintain as little wastage as possible. So as students, I'd like to encourage you to use your vegetable peeler because it's more safe. You're now getting used to peeling vegetables, and we can maintain as little wastage as possible. So here on my potato, which is the thing about vegetables, here is not good. Look at it. It's discolored and it's kind of starting to spoil. So how do I remove that? What tool do I use to remove that? Can't be the vegetable peeler. So this is where now I'm going to use my green cutting board. As we said, green is used for vegetable preparations, raw vegetables. I am going to go to my chef knife, and I am going to slice this discolored part of the potato away from the good part of my potato. So how do I use my chef knife? You see how the chef knife is shaped? It's shaped in a curve. Why it's shaped like a curve? Because it is to assist when you're slicing and you are able to move it from the tip to the heel. That's why it's shaped like that. Because then you can apply it to various shaped vegetables. How do I hold my knife? Again, we have the handle. You hold with a good grip on the handle, or you can hold with the angle and you take these two fingers and you apply just to the top of the blade. This way it's secure. My wrist is free. I can move like I'm in the ocean, like a boat, and it's safe. What I never want to see students doing, or we chefs don't like to see students doing, because you don't have the security, you can't handle the knife as safely when you have a finger up here. That is a no. Okay? We chefs kind of like fingers. So if we see fingers like this, somehow or another, you know, it's gone, it's removed, it's chopped off. All right? Because there's no need for it here. I'm only joking, we don't do that, we don't do that. So you hold your knife safely here, or you can hold your knife safely here. So let's remove this item off our potato. So we want to slice. This is slicing. In slicing, your tip is on the board and the heel is above the item. And it goes as high as the item you have. Let the item be stable on the board and then maintain your claw grip. The claw grip is designed like this for a purpose. It is to protect your fingers as well as to securely hold the item. So really and truly, these tips are tucked under, and these knuckles are protruding above the tip. Because if there's anything touching the knife, it would just be that tip with the blade away. But this is always to be tucked away, and it's the claw grip to get a good hold of your vegetable. So the tip is on the board, the blade is on, I can see on this side and I can see on that side, and we slice and let the knife do the job. You will see that I did this. I did not, students, do this. That puts pressure on the wrist, and because you're not allowing the knife to do its job. Let the knife do its job. Let it slice. So now that I have that piece removed, I don't want that. That goes in the garbage. But this is still a good piece. I have a piece of skin on there. So I'm going to take my vegetable peeler, simply remove that. You say, have in my mise en place a bowl of water. Whenever you are dealing with starchy vegetables like potatoes, they must be placed in water. Room temperature water is fine. It doesn't have to be ice cold water. Room temperature water from your tap is good enough. You place them straight in there because the starches that is released from your vegetable starts to oxidize. It will change color, make it for an ugly potato. All right, we want to maintain the lovely color on the potato. So my potato is peeled and into the water until I'm ready to use it. I'm going to use it now because I'm going to slice it one time because we like to be efficient. Onto my board. And I want to achieve what we call in the industry rondelles, and they simply just mean round slices. All right? So again, your claw grip, holding the knife, your stance is immediately to the board, and you're supposed to be able to see on this side. Don't look behind here because you cannot tell how thick or thin you want to slice if you're on the other side of the vegetable. So you want to be able to see the side that you are slicing well. So here we are. So you have your tip on the board and you slice. And that way then you can maintain consistency when you are slicing. By looking above and over to the side, you know how far in you want to be or how far out. So again, and by maintaining your stance, I can maintain the consistency on my potato. Now students, you are not necessarily comfortable with your knife yet. Because of how this is shaped, you may not feel comfortable to continue to do your rondelles when it's shaped like this. If you find that happen, let me show you a little secret. Take your round item and just simply again, just form a small base. Again, just a very small base, just like that. So it doesn't affect our round shape too much. Place it on that base and look how stable that is. I don't have to hold it to stand up. So here I can continue with my rondelles. And the knife is doing the job, not my wrist. Another method we use is a tunnel. So when it becomes small like this, you can grip using the tunnel grip, where you can hold both sides. The knife is securely placed underneath, and you are again slicing, students. It's always slicing. And I have it here. Okay. And in that goes into my water. These are what we call trim-ins. They're not the right size for the preparation I want, but we wouldn't throw these away because I can use these in mashed potatoes or any other preparation. So these will be placed on my board. I will get another bowl of water for these onto my, my mise en place tray to be used later on. Okay? Potatoes. So we have our onion. We are going to remove the remainder of this skin on the onion. This skin, we do not use this skin, okay? So this is where I'm going to use my paring knife. This is the root, and this is the tip. We want to remove the tip, so I'm going to use the small paring knife to remove the tip. And you can see I'm using the board as much as possible and avoid using the hand. Only when absolutely necessary for things like potatoes. Okay? But I'll use your board. This is your security. If anything happens, he can take it, but you can't. Okay? So remove your tip as little as possible because wastage is important. We pay for this onion by the pound. So don't cut the onion all the way down there to throw away. No, no, no. That's money going in the garbage. All right? These are some hard times. Even in good times, don't waste your onion. The root, I want that stayed as much intact as possible. This is what's going to keep my onion together. So all I'm going to do is simply remove some of these roots, just like that. Just like that. And I'm going to just take it, because he's a fairly big root, and I just want that taken off of my onion. Okay. So I've removed my roots, must stay in place, remove our tip. I am going to move back to my paring knife to remove the skin. And I also have this lovely tool. He is actually a scraper. We use him in baking, but we also use him in food preparation. This one I have specifically when I'm doing vegetable preparation. And you'll see why he's such a handy tool to use. So let's remove the skin. Easy way and efficient way to remove the skin is to cut your onion in half. There is a wrong way and a right way to cut your onion in half. The right way is from root to tip, all the time, regardless of what preparations we are doing with our onion, unless we want to achieve full rondelles, circle onions. Our onion is always cut in half from root to tip. So my chef knife again, my onion, I see where half is, I take the knife and I slice through the onion, and there it is in half. Now it's going to make for easy peeling. Have my garbage bowl, take my paring knife. See why that root is important? Skin removed. Look at that. Split second. Again. Just like that. And because I washed my onion after you remove the skin, I do not need to go back and wash the onion again. In some circumstances, you may have some dirt below this skin. If you do, wash your onion. Okay? So we have our two halves. So now we're going to dice our onion. And I want a fine dice. So this is how we will dice an onion. I am right-handed. The root is to my left and my tip is to my right. I am going to form some slits in this onion. As students who are new and not necessarily comfortable with your chef knife as yet, we permit you to utilize your paring knife for this stage. I'm going to show you how to do it with the paring knife, and then I'm going to show you how to do it with your chef knife. Always claw grip. I can see to the side, straight angle on my board, and I'm going to make some thin slits. Now you will see some persons making their slits from the front, which is fine. But for you, the students, I find you tend to maintain straight slits and thin slits when you maintain it to the side that you can see what you are doing. Of course, now with my chef knife, and you see why you need a sharp knife. So I've come to the end of the onion, forming a bit difficulty. I use my grip again. Oops. And I make my splits. From there, I'll show you the paring knife again, only because it's a smaller onion. You're going to slit through the base, the bottom, as far as you can. That's comfortable for you. I'm going to show you with the chef knife. And I make my slit again. Okay? And you can see I'm maintaining that grip, and I make a slit to the top. Don't mind those pieces. We'll just move them to the side. And now I can start to achieve my fine dice. Grip, above, and slice. My fine dice. Now look how easy and quick that is, huh? By not doing that, this is what you students end up doing. So look at the use of my tool onto my mise en place plate. Just like that. What you students like to do, this is a don't. You take it, you slice it, let's take the other onion. You take it, and you do whatever you feel like. And then you do this. And then you do this. Do 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 do. Yep. Now that I'm not even done yet. And how long that took, how much energy. And I still have all these uneven cuts, and I still have a long way to go. So we don't want that. We want efficiency. We want consistency. We'll not be rid of these though. They could go in my stock pot. All right? See how handy this tool is? So we go back to our lovely sliced onion and we continue with our brunoise. When you find you're coming to the end, where you may have to continue with your slit some more, you do so, and you continue to slice through, and you continue with your brunoise. Now students, safety first. Please do not continue to the edge of the onion if you're not comfortable, okay? It can be used for another purpose. Safety always first. So my board is completely cleaned, all of my onions, versus having to use the knife. You can invest in these, are very cheap. All right, they're what we call dough scrapers. And you can use this as part of your mise en place when you're handling your vegetables. Okay. So let's give my station a little wipe down. Remember, we always must be clean. Remove that excess onion. I'm going to wash my cloth. And have my cloth here. Next, bell pepper, sweet pepper, capsicum, all the names to this guy here, all right? So I'm going to actually do what we call Julienne. These are our thin strips, all right? So don't worry with the French terms, you just say thin strips. So that's what we're going to do. So how do I get thin strips out of this round item? We're going to remove the tops and we're going to remove the bottom. So again, chef knife, good stance, angle, slice. Trim in, not garbage, because we can use this for something else. Turn, slice. So because this is very tall, you will see that my tip couldn't be on the board. You slice still, it's still a slicing motion that I am using to cut the capsicum, bell pepper, sweet pepper. Now you're going to take your knife and you will simply make a slit to open it up. And now we take your knife and we want to remove the white part of your bell pepper, your sweet pepper. This garbage. So we have that. Wonderful. Now we can achieve strips now, right? But we don't want these long strips, and I don't want them so short either. So for safety, I'm going to break it down into the lengths I desire. So this is the length I desire for my julienne, or this. Put this back onto my tray. And now I'm going to julienne my pepper. Upside down, knife, good grip, or good grip. Up to you. Either one is fine. Claw above, thin strips. And although you have these pieces stuck on, what they do is they actually give you a guide into the consistency of your julienne. Okay? Let's do that. Let's continue to the end. Not the right shape, so we'll put him over there. And here I have my julienne of red peppers. Very easily done, very quickly done. Onto my mise en place plate. Garlic. I want a nice dice on this garlic. I don't want sliced rondelles of garlic, I want dice of garlic. So how do I do that with this little thing? This is where you go to your paring knife. Small items like this, absolutely your paring knife. At this stage, as you become more comfortable, you would use your chef knife. So just like the onion, it has a tip and it has a root, okay? And you see it has skin. Part of this skin is off. But let me show you a little trick where the garlic's concerned. You will see on television and on Facebook and all the YouTube videos, etc., where people take the knife and they mash the garlic like that and they take off the skin. That's all well and good if it is that the shape that I want to achieve from this garlic has no particular consistency. If I just want a rough chop on a garlic, perfect. But where I want precision in my cuts, I don't want that. So what I do is I would remove the root very thinly of the garlic, a bit of the tip, and when you do that, it allows for easy peeling. And students, yes, my garlic is washed as well, yeah? My garlic is washed. Clove of garlic. We have our root, our tip, and just like the onion, using the tunnel grip, straight down the middle. Just like that. From there, we are going to dice in your garlic. So let's do this. Same paring knife you can use. Very thin slits. This is my best friend, so don't worry about it. You'll get to know your knife as well, okay? Straight through, but this is quite thin. So this is me confidently doing this. You who are new to the knife, because this is a flat garlic, you are very welcome to do this, very thin strips. And then you can go to dicing your garlic. So I'm going to move to the big knife, just so you can see it's not so intimidating to use the knife on this small item. Same stance again. Same grip. Lovely and fine. Look at that. All in one go. Watch how even smaller this one is going to go because I made the slit through the middle. Look at that. See the difference? Finer than that one, just because I made that slit. So there we have our lovely diced garlic, fine diced garlic. And you can see, as part of my mise en place preparation, everything is separate. You don't have to use a plate. You can use your sheet pan or any other type of vessel to place your mise en place on. All of this is mise en place, but keep them separate because they all have different degrees of cooking, length of times. It depends on the preparation I'm using. So you don't want to mix them together. Keep them separate. And I'm just going to show off a little bit and finish my garlic. Just to show you how when you become friends with the knife, that you can achieve anything. garlic. Station nice and clean. And there we have it, our vegetable preparations, the correct use of our knives. And as you can tell, I've maintained the cleanliness and organization of my station.